gang of biker brutally attacked him. They tried to stop him, but the man was so passionate and committed to his purpose that he made a terrible example out of them on that particular day. Welcome back. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. The movie kicks off in a forest that looks like it lost a fight with a barbecue grill. Everything's covered in ash. There's a dead body lying around, and a scraggly, bald cat decides it's snack time, going right for feet. A figure in a combat suit lurks nearby. Suddenly, an arrow flies out of nowhere, taking out the cat. Sorry, cat lovers. Eli strolls up, pulls out the arrow, and bags the cat like he's just scored a gourmet dinner. Welcome to 2043, where the world's gone to hell, and Eli is just trying to survive as he heads west, though a nice Yelp review for that meal isn't in the cards. While on the road, Eli stumbles across an empty house. Jackpot, or so he thinks. He searches high and low for anything useful. Tries the taps, but they're as dry as your uncle's jokes at Thanksgiving. In the closet, he finds a dead body because apparently this house comes with bonus features and decides to snag the boots. Priorities, right? With his weapons laid out, he jams to some tunes on what looks like an ancient artifact, an iPod. Yep, in the apocalypse, even iPods survive. Later, he cooks up the cat, sharing a tiny bit with a rat who shows up. How generous. The next morning, his iPod's on its last legs, and the battery is about to die. What a tragedy. No more post-apocalyptic playlists. Moving along, Eli meets a woman with a busted shopping cart. It's like Walmart on Black Friday, but without the deals. She asks for help, but Eli senses something's fishy, and it's not the cat. Turns out a group of thugs is hiding nearby. Eli's got a nose for trouble and shouts out, calling them out like he's done this 100 times. The gang leader steps up, trying to act tough, but Eli's not having it. With one swift move, he lops off the guy's hand with his machete. Guess he won't be giving any high fives soon. But he takes them all down like he's in a one-man action. Then like nothing happened, he just strolls away, still heading west. On an overpass, Eli witnesses a group of bikers attack a couple. They kill the guy, assault the woman, and then steal all their books? Yep, apparently books are the new currency. Eli, sticking to his mind-your-own-business policy, decides not to get involved. He keeps walking and eventually reaches a small town. He trades some old KFC wet wipes, because hygiene matters even in the apocalypse, and a lighter to an engineer for a battery charge on his iPod. The real MVP here is the iPod, clearly. At the bar, guess who shows up? The same bikers who attacked the couple. They're delivering their stolen book haul to Carnegie, the town's not so benevolently. Carnegie's on a book hunt, looking for something specific. When the bikers bring him a pile of random books, including some children's stories, he's not impressed and tells them to burn the lot. As a reward, he gives them a bottle of shampoo, because in a world without water, a fresh head of hair is everything. Carnegie shares the shampoo with Claudia, his lady friend, like it's the ultimate romantic gesture. Forget diamonds, baby, I got you Pantene. Meanwhile, Eli's trading gloves and a scarf for a full canteen of water. So Laura, Claudia's daughter, is sent to fill it up, but Redridge, Carnegie's creepy right-hand man, tries to stop her. So Laura manages to get the water and brings it back to Eli. Inside the bar, a cat crosses Eli's path, and one of the bikers gets all worked up that Eli touched it. Not cool, man. Eli responds by slamming the biker's face into the bar. Problem solved. But that kicks off a massive brawl, with Eli taking on the entire bar. He leaves all but one guy breathing, so Laura rushes in, begging Eli to chill. Right on cue, Redridge and Carnegie's men show up and take Eli to meet Carnegie. Carnegie's impressed, thinking Eli might be useful. He offers Eli a sweet gig in his town, but Eli's not interested in working for the local tyrant. Still, Carnegie forces him to stay the night. Later, Redridge sends Claudia to bring Eli some food, and Eli notices she's blind. He asks if the war blinded her, but she tells him she was born that way. Carnegie, desperate to keep Eli around, tries to send Solara to seduce him. Claudia begs him not to, but Carnegie doesn't care. Eli, though, isn't interested in that kind of hospitality. Solara is scared and pleads to stay with him, worried Carnegie will hurt her mom if she doesn't comply. They talk about the war, and Solara gets excited when she sees Eli's book, even though she can't read. Eli shuts down the conversation and wraps up the book like it's a precious treasure. Still, he shares his meal with her and teaches her how to say grace. At breakfast the next morning, Solara surprises everyone by trying to recite the prayer with her mom. She stumbles, forgetting the word amen. Carnegie finishes it for her, but then things take a dark turn.
Amen.
He beats Claudia to get information about Eli's book. When Solara mentions the cross on the cover, Carnegie orders his men to retrieve it. But by the time they get to Eli's room, he's already Houdini'd his way out of it. Eli, across the street, grabs his charged iPod battery, priorities, and is ready to leave. Carnegie tries one last time to convince him to stay, claiming the Bible Eli carries is the key to controlling the town. Eli isn't buying it and tells him the book belongs to those who truly need it. As Eli walks off, Carnegie orders Reedridge to shoot him, but Reedridge misses twice. Seriously, get this guy some shooting lessons. A shootout ensues, and Eli takes down most of Carnegie's men, even hitting Carnegie in the knee. Reedridge, clearly impressed by Eli's badassery, lets him go. Back in town, Claudia tells Solara to follow Eli, hoping she'll be safer with. Carnegie, despite some hesitation, agrees with a bit of humor. Eli keeps moving along the road, but it's not long before Solara catches up. She wants to tag along, but Eli quickly shuts that down. She then offers to show him where the town's clean water comes from, an underground spring that hasn't been touched by contamination. After filling up his canteen, Eli pulls a fast one and locks Solara in the cave, insisting he's not a bad guy, but he has to go. She yells at him, calling him a liar, but he leaves her behind, wishing her well. Somehow, Solara manages to escape and heads off in the same direction Eli was going. She runs into the woman with the busted cart, the same one from early. Trying to help, Solara is met with a warning. The woman begs her to leave before something terrible happens to her. Just as two thugs show up and try to assault Solara, Eli arrives, shooting one with an arrow right through the groin and taking out the other with a well-placed shot to throat. Meanwhile, Carnegie and his crew discover the bodies of the thugs Eli took down. They know he's not far ahead. Reedridge finds a piece of Solara's clothing, and it's clear he's not happy about it. Carnegie, noticing Reedridge's reaction, asks if he still wants her and heads back to the car. Eli and Solara settle down for the night near an old nuclear plant cooling tower. Eli pulls out his book and reads from it, and when Solara asks to hear more, he recites a bit before putting it away. She's curious and asks him to teach her to read, but he doesn't respond. Later, thinking he's asleep, she tries to sneak a peek at the book, but Eli catches her and makes it clear that she should stay away from it, cocking a shotgun for emphasis. The next day, as they continue west, Solara asks about the world before the war. Eli explains that people used to have more than they could ever need, and now, folks fight to the death over things that were once thrown away without a second thought. When she asks why the book is so important, Eli reveals that it's the last known copy of the Bible, which had been wiped out after the war by those who believed it caused the conflict. He also shares that he's heading west because a voice told him to go there, and he believes he's being protected on this journey. Solara thinks it sounds crazy, but she keeps her thoughts to herself. They arrive at a house with a no trespassing sign, and as Eli tries to enter, a trapdoor opens, sending them into a pit. Inside, they meet Martha and George, an elderly couple who've been living there for years. The couple apologizes for the trap, explaining that they've had to defend their home against attackers. Martha even offers tea, but Eli quickly realizes that the couple are cannibals. They've been eating those who tried to rob them. Eli decides it's time to leave, but as they make their way out, Carnegie and his men show up. Eli and Solara return to the house, and the elderly couple break out an arsenal of weapons hidden in the couch. A standoff begins, with Carnegie demanding Eli's hand over the book. A bomb is tossed through the window, leading to an explosion that kills several of Carnegie's men. After a brief but intense firefight, Reedridge uses an RPG to blow up part of the house, killing Martha in the process. George tries to fight back, but is gunned down by a Gatling. Eli and Solara are captured, and Carnegie threatens to kill Solara if Eli doesn't hand over the... Eli gives up the book, but as Carnegie walks away with, he shoots Eli in the stomach. Solara is taken in one van, while Carnegie keeps the book with him in another. As the caravan drives off, Solara uses the string from Eli's bow to strangle the driver, causing their van to flip. In the chaos, Solara throws a grenade, destroying a third car. Reedridge, who had been impaled by Eli's machete during the crash, dies in a moment of peace, and Solara escapes. Despite being shot, Eli continues his journey west. Solara finds him and helps him into a car, where he patches himself up with duct tape. Together, they drive to the remains of the Golden Gate Bridge and row across to Alcatraz Island. There, Eli meets Lombardi, who has been collecting remnants of pre-war culture to rebuild society. Eli, having memorized the entire Bible, begins reciting it from memory as Lombardi writes it down. Back in town, Carnegie finally opens the Bible, only to realize it's written in Braille. Desperate, he begs Claudia to read it, but she refuses, knowing Carnegie's leg wound is infected and he's losing control of the town. As his men turn on each other, Carnegie's empire falls apart. At Alcatraz, Eli finishes reciting the Bible and dies shortly after, having completed his mission. The newly written Bible is placed on a shelf, and Solara, taking Eli's machete and iPod, sets off on her own path, ready for whatever comes next.